Do you ever feel like you're caught in a spiritual holding pattern, waiting for a divine intervention that never quite arrives, while the challenges of life continue to pile up? Perhaps you've been praying, hoping, and believing, yet the mountain in front of you seems to grow taller with each passing day, leaving you wondering if your faith is truly enough. Today we're going to unpack a profound truth that will not only shift your perspective, but empower you to move that mountain, not by waiting passively, but by actively partnering with the divine architect of your life. This isn't a message about simply trying harder. It's about understanding the incredible power God has already placed within you, waiting to be unleashed through your intentional choices and consistent action. We're going to discover how to move from a place of spiritual stagnation to one of dynamic, purposeful progression, unlocking the best life God intends for you, right here, right now. Many of us, when faced with overwhelming circumstances, tend to look outward for the cause of our struggles. We point to the economy, to difficult relationships, to past failures, or even to the unfairness of life itself. It's a natural human tendency to seek explanations outside of ourselves, to find something or someone else to bear the weight of our current reality. But here's the often overlooked truth. While external forces undeniably exist and impact us, the ultimate power to navigate and transform your life resides not in what happens to you, but in what happens within you and how you choose to respond. Think of your spirit and your mind as a garden. You can blame the quality of the soil, the harsh sun, or the lack of rain, but the reality is, the most beautiful and fruitful gardens are cultivated by attentive hands, regardless of external conditions. What seeds are you planting with your thoughts and beliefs? Are you tending to the weeds of doubt and fear, or are you nurturing the blossoming seeds of faith and perseverance? The first step towards transformation is a radical shift in perspective, embracing the profound truth that you are not merely a passenger in your own life. You are the primary gardener, empowered by God to cultivate the future you desire. Are you ready to pick up your spiritual trowel and begin? If this message resonates with your spirit, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's build a community of intentional cultivators, sharing our insights and growing together. One of the most persistent obstacles we encounter on our spiritual journey is the subtle, insidious voice of doubt. It whispers that you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not capable enough to overcome the challenges before you. It tells you that your past failures are predictors of your future, and that true change is for someone else, someone more deserving or more gifted. I remember a woman named Martha, a single mother who had always dreamed of opening her own small bakery. For years, she'd baked for friends and family, receiving rave reviews, but the dream felt too big, too risky. Every time she thought about taking a step forward, the voice of doubt would paralyze her. What if I fail? What if I lose everything? She'd tell herself she wasn't good with numbers, or that the market was too competitive. This internal chatter kept her stuck, meticulously planning but never executing.
The principle of overcoming this obstacle isn't about silencing doubt entirely, for it will always try to creep in, but about learning to act in spite of it. It's about recognizing that doubt is often a sign that you're on the edge
of something significant, something that requires you to step out in faith. Martha realized that her fear wasn't a sign to stop, but a signal to seek divine courage. She started small, selling her baked goods at a local farmer's market, her hands trembling with fear but her heart resolute. Each small sale, each positive comment, chipped away at the stronghold of doubt, proving that consistent, imperfect action is the true antidote to fear. The second formidable obstacle is the relentless pursuit of perfection. We often fall into the trap of believing that we must have every detail meticulously planned, every resource perfectly aligned, and every potential pitfall accounted for before we can even begin. This mindset, while seemingly responsible, is often a cleverly disguised form of procrastination, born from a fear of failure. It tells us to wait for the right moment, the ideal conditions, the flawless strategy. But here's a surprising revelation. The right moment rarely arrives. Life is messy, unpredictable, and imperfect. The most profound transformations rarely begin with a grand, flawless leap, but rather with a series of small, often clumsy steps. Consider the prophet Zechariah's profound question. For who has despised the day of small beginnings? This isn't just about starting, it's about honoring the humble, imperfect start. It's about recognizing that every masterpiece began with a single brushstroke, every towering skyscraper with a single brick. If Martha had waited for the perfect business plan, the perfect loan, the perfect storefront, her bakery would have remained a distant dream. Instead, she embraced the messy reality of her farmer's market stall, learning, adapting, and growing with each customer. This willingness to start small, to stumble, and to iterate is not a sign of weakness. It is the hallmark of true resilience and faith. It's a practical application of trust, believing that God will meet you in the effort, not just in the flawless execution. The true turning point in our spiritual journey comes when we internalize the truth that God is not just an observer of our lives, but an active, empowering partner in our journey.
This isn't about a passive surrender where we simply wait for divine intervention to solve all our problems. Rather, it's about understanding that it is God who works in you to will and to act in order to fulfill His good purpose. Philippians
2:13. This biblical truth reveals a profound collaboration. God empowers our will, He empowers our actions, and He does so for His good purpose, which often aligns perfectly with the deepest, most righteous desires of our hearts. The transformation isn't just external. It's an interior shift where you recognize that your agency is divinely inspired. You are not alone in your striving. You are working hand in hand with the Creator of the universe. This understanding moves you from a place of self-doubt to one of divine confidence. It's like a master craftsman providing you with the finest tools and the clearest blueprints, not to do the work for you, but to enable you to build something truly magnificent. When Martha truly grasped this, her entire approach changed. She stopped seeing her business as her burden alone, but as a venture she was building with God. This didn't make the challenges disappear, but it infused her spirit with an unwavering resolve and a peace that transcended her circumstances. She understood that her efforts, however small, were part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. This new perspective transforms how we view challenges, not as roadblocks, but as building blocks. Every setback, every moment of uncertainty, every closed door can become a foundational piece for something greater if we choose to see it that way. Sarah, a young woman I knew, faced a devastating job loss in a highly competitive field. For months, she felt adrift, her confidence shattered. She had always defined herself by her career, and suddenly that definition was gone. But as she leaned into her faith, she began to see this period of unemployment not as an end, but as a crucible. It forced her to reevaluate her passions, to develop new skills, and to step outside her comfort zone. Through prayer and consistent personal development, she discovered a latent talent for digital design, something she'd never considered before. She started a small freelance business from her home, creating stunning websites for local businesses. Within a year, her income surpassed what she had earned in her previous corporate role, and more importantly, she found a sense of purpose and fulfillment she'd never known. Her testimony isn't just about a career change, it's about the profound shift from seeing life's disruptions as destructive to recognizing them as divinely guided detours, leading to a richer, more authentic path. This expansive application of faith means understanding that God is always working, even in the chaos, orchestrating opportunities for growth and elevation. So how do we practically apply these truths in our daily lives? It begins with intentional choices made consistently. First, cultivate your inner garden daily. This means guarding your heart above all else, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. What thoughts are you allowing to take root? Replace seeds of doubt with declarations of faith. Second, embrace the master builder mindset. God has given you the blueprint for your life, and He's also given you the tools and the strength. You are not waiting for Him to magically construct your future. You are actively co-creating it, brick by brick, empowered by His Spirit. This means taking action, even imperfect action, every single day. If your dream is to write a book, write one paragraph. If it's to start a business, make one phone call. Third, practice radical responsibility. Stop blaming external factors and own your responses. You can't control the winds, but you can always adjust your sails. Finally, trust the unseen hand. As Isaiah 30:21 reminds us, whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." This isn't a passive waiting for a booming voice. It's an attentive listening to the quiet nudges, the open doors, and the inner peace that accompanies alignment with God's will as you actively move forward. Your future is not a distant destination. It's built by the small, deliberate choices you make today. As we consolidate this journey, remember that the best life isn't a destination you arrive at, but a continuous process of growth, discovery, and divine partnership. It's about consistently tending your inner garden, laying bricks with purpose, and trusting the master builder's plan, even when you can't see the whole structure. Your past resilience is a testament to your capability, and every challenge you've overcome has forged a stronger, more capable you. This isn't a one-time, spiritual exercise. It's a lifelong commitment to living with intention, courage, and unwavering faith. The future you envision, the purpose you long for, the peace you seek, it's all within reach, not through passive waiting, but through proactive, faith-filled action. Imagine yourself a year from now, having consistently applied these principles. What mountains will you have moved? What gardens will you have cultivated? What spiritual house will you have built? This is your invitation to step into that future, to embrace your God-given agency, and to live out the powerful, purposeful life you were created for. If this message has ignited a spark within you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread this message of empowerment and divine partnership far and wide, helping others unlock their full potential and build lives that truly honor their Creator.